Sir. Hello, sir. We are live. Do something.
Oh, sorry. All right, hello guys, welcome back to this channel. This is Akinbola Ezekiel speaking. In today's video, I want to talk about which of this business should you go for. Should you go for a sole proprietorship business or a limited liability company registration? Now, a lot of people have been asking this question and they are dead worried about what kind of business registration will actually fit their nature of business. Which one should they go for? Should they go for a business name registration or a company registration? In this video, I'll be answering all your questions as regard that. All you need to do is to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and make sure you follow me, watch this video from beginning to the end, so that you not go and register the business you don't need to or waste your money. All right, let's go. So the first thing I'll be talking about is the registration cost. What is the registration cost difference between a business name registration and a company registration? So the difference in cost is basically understandably low. So the business name registration is quite cheaper than the company registration, especially if you are doing it from a third party. A third party will charge you more for a business name registration and more for a company registration. I don't know if you get that difference. So it means that, let's say if the cost of registering a business is X naira, it means that the cost of registering a company registration will be X plus XY naira. So that means there's always an additional cost for company registration, and the reason is simple. Is because there's different in the process of registration and the level of expertise needed is also different. So you need to consider that while you want to register. So if you are short on cash and you don't have much cash to be able to carry registration, well, business name registration might be the way to go. And if you are someone who is ready for all the structures and the advantages that comes with a company registration, then you want to make sure you go for a company registration. Now let's look at the legal difference. Now, the business name is not different from the owner of the business. That means that the legal structure of a business name does not differentiate between the owner of the business and the business itself. All of you are the same person. If you go and take a loan, the loan is not only owned for the business. Loan is also connected to you because you are also part of the business, since it's a business name structure. But when you have a company registration, it gives the business itself an entity structure or an entity personality. That means the business itself alone can be sued. The business itself can also sue another person. So meanwhile, you as the director of the business can also be sued separately as a separate entity. But legally, your company registration gives your business better structure and better advantage to compete and be able to carry out its function easily. And don't forget that it also limits your liability. That's why it is called Limited Liability Company. Company registration limits your liability. Unlike the business name registration, it doesn't limit your liability. Oh God, now you they carry everything on top of your head. Now let's look at the third implication or third thing to consider is the tax implication. Now the tax implication, it covers both your personal income tax and then you also have to pay some tax to your local government and every other thing, right? So, but business registration is connected to your personal income tax because as a sole proprietor, you are seen as a personal, the government bracket you, or the tax bracket that your business name falls into is under the tax, personal income tax bracket. And that means that you'll be charged based on the performance of the fact that if you earn less than, is it 800,000 now, you'll not be paying tax. If you earn above 800,000, the remaining part will be charged based on the different percentage. I think 17%, 30, up to like 30 or 40% or thereabout. So go and check and confirm the bracket you fall into. But for the company income tax, do you know that company income tax for a company, you are not supposed to pay any company income tax, I think, until you are able to have a gross earning of close to about 20 to 30 million or thereabout. So it means that in summary, if you are considering the tax implication, it is always advisable to go for a company registration somehow. But meanwhile, the disadvantage of doing that is also that company registration has a lot of red tapes, a lot of implications like you carrying out your auditing report, the compliance is just very much. You're doing PENCOM, you're doing ITF, you're doing NSITF, you're doing BPP and different other compliance. And some businesses might not be able to afford that. So it might even have been better for you to go for the business registration. So depending on what your gross earning is, what you plan to earn, what your estimate is, what your business is worth, and what you plan for the future for the business and the structure that business needs, you might want to choose going for a business name or a company registration. I believe you are trying to make your choice right now, Abby. So based on the tax implication and the fact that you want to be sure you are in the safest path that will help you grow your business. The next thing to consider is the hidden expenses. The hidden expenses basically for a business name, there's no hidden expenses for a business name, right? If you look at company registration, there's no hidden expenses, but the only thing is that you must also consider the minimum share capital of registration. Minimum share capital is the worth of the company. So let's say if your minimum share capital is 1 million naira, it doesn't affect the cost of registration as such. So whatever you're going to pay is what you pay. But once you now want to increase the minimum share capital to about 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 million, then there will be a commensurate increase on the cost of your registration. The next to consider is the advantage and disadvantage. From what I've said, even you, tell me some of the disadvantage. Drop it in the comment section. I want to see the advantages and disadvantages of company registration and business registration, depending on what you have understood. But some of the things you must consider is that an advantage of a company registration is that it gives your business legal structure. See, irrespective of the tax burden you are going to incur as a company, once you want to have a structure in your business and you want the business to grow beyond you, you want your liability to be limited, just go for a company registration. Irrespective of there is more compliance with company registration and all. If you want a structure, just go for a company registration. But if you want to run a small business that you don't want to be, you are the alpha and omega of the business, you don't want investors, you don't want investment, okay, just stay with your business registration and nobody will disturb you. But if you want to be able to sell the shares, or you want to get investors into your business, you want to be able to tell people, oh, please, I'll give you 2% of my company, please, I need 10 million naira quickly from your hand. And the person will say, okay, no problem. And they know what their 10 million will worth in the next 2 years because of the share of the company and the fact that they believe in the vision you have. So if essentially, now another thing, if you're a tech company, don't register a business name, go and register a company registration. So there are some business you want to do, you should not even suggest a business name for those people. So let me give you an example. If you want to register a hospitality company, you have to do a company registration. If you want to register a school, you have to do a company registration. If you want to register a marine business, you have to do a school registration. If you want to register a mortgage company, you have to do a company registration. If you want to register a bank, you have to do a company registration. If you want to register a loan company, you have to do a company registration. Do you understand? So these options I'm giving you, you cannot even think of business name registration. So your nature of business has a lot of things to do, determine the kind of registration you'll be going for. And finally, let's look at which option is best depending on your business goal. So let me know, what is your business goal? And based on everything I've mentioned, which do you think is best for you? I want to drop it in the comment section. Just itemize your nature of business and tell me if business name is better for you or a company registration. But take note, whatever you choose can haunt you and determine if your business will grow or not. I hope you have subscribed to this channel. My name is Ezekiel, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Thank you. So let me continue my music.